Hello everyone, welcome to Onestop Academy English. Today you will learn active voice and passive voice with simple examples. So let's start. Here is a simple sentence. Sarah reads a book. So where is the subject here? Sarah reads a book. Which one is the subject? Sarah is the subject. And what is a book? Book is object. Sarah is subject and book is object. And reads is a verb. So for a simple active voice sentence, we have a formula here. Subject plus verb plus object. And if you look at the tense of this sentence, is present simple. Now let's look at another sentence. Let me write it here. A book is read by Sarah. Now tell me, do these two sentences mean the same or different? Sarah reads a book. A book is read by Sarah. They mean the same, but they are written differently. So let's spot the differences between these two sentences. A book is an object here and at the end of the subject, at the end of the sentence. We start this sentence, which was an object here. By definition, object is something on which an action is done. So in this case, object comes first. Then here the verb was reads, the base form of the verb, but here it's read, which is verb, but past participle or the third form of the verb. And then Sarah, which is a subject, we write it in the end. You see that the formula we had here for the active voice has reversed. Here, object comes first. Here, it was at the end. Here, the subject is at the end, and here, the subject was at the beginning. And then there is a verb. But these are not the only differences. There are other differences as well. Can you spot them? Okay, let me tell you about those differences. The helping verb was absent in this sentence. No helping verb there. And there is another word, by, which is present in the passive voice. A book is read by Sarah. So in this formula, we have object plus to be. Because this is present simple tense, that's why we are using is for to be. But it can be was, were, has, have, depending on the tense of the sentence. So object plus to be, then verb. But what form of the verb? The past participle form of the verb. Past participle. I'm going to write past P for past participle plus by and then plus subject. So you see how the formula is changed. For an active voice, we use subject plus verb plus object, and the verb here depending on the tense. It can be present, past, or past participle, but in the passive voice, the verb is always used in past participle form. Let's look at this example again. Here, we are using Sarah as a subject. And in the next example, we are using she as a subject. She reads a book. Sarah reads a book. Both of them are active forms. Let's change both of them into passive form again and see what is the difference between the passive form. A book is read by Sarah. Now we are going to change this active subject into passive one. A book is read by her. So if I tell you to spot the difference between these two sentences, what is the difference? Here we are using the pronoun. If there is not a specific subject, and for she, he, we, they, we use the pronoun. For example, she reads a book. A book is read by her. He reads a book. A book is read by him. We read a book. A book is read by us. They read a book. A book is read by them. So let's look at more examples. We can change this example. Sarah ate breakfast. Let's look at the tense. What tense it is? It is simple past. Simple past. Let's change it into passive voice. What is the object in this sentence? Sarah ate breakfast. Sarah is the subject, breakfast is the object. So we will start the passive voice sentence with breakfast. Breakfast was. We are not using is here. Why? Because as I told you that we use to be form after an object, and because the active sentence is in simple past, we will use was here instead of is. Breakfast was eaten because we will use the past participle form of the verb which was used here. Breakfast was eaten by Sarah. So the point to be noted here is that what tense was used in active sentence is taken care, or when the action happened, when we talk about time, it's been taken care by to be. We can use is, was, were, has been, had been, according to the timeline when the action was happened. Breakfast was eaten by Sarah. Or if it was she ate breakfast, we would have said breakfast was eaten by her. We ate breakfast. Breakfast was eaten by us. Now let's look at another example. So let's write a sentence. Sarah has eaten breakfast. Breakfast has been eaten by Sarah. Let's look at the formula here. Whenever we are using has, have, or had, we have to use been with it. So first of all, we have the object of the sentence or the object that we have to be, and because it is past perfect tense, we will be using has been. Breakfast has been eaten. We always use past participle form of the verb in passive sentences by Sarah, which is a subject. Breakfast has been eaten by Sarah. Now let's look at another example. We played football. Or we had. We have played football. What tense it is? It is present perfect. So let's change into passive voice. Football has been. Here it was more than us. That's why we used have. But we have to use third form of be and we have to use been. Has been. Football has been played by us. Now things to remember. Let's make a list of things. Let's see the things to remember. We learned that in active voice, the formula is active voice. We have the subject, then we use verb, we do use helping verb depending on the tense, and in the end will be object. For the passive voice, we start with object, then plus correct form of to be. After that, verb, always past participle or third form. of the verb, then by, and after that, subject. I hope it was clear. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment section. And in next video, I will tell you more rules and I will give you some practice sentences as well. Actually, we will start with the practice sentences for what we have learned so far. And after that, I will tell you some advanced rules. So let's recap what we have learned so far. In passive voice, we always use past participle form of the verb, no matter what the tense is. Tense is determined by the form of to be, which is used as a helping verb. After verb, we always use by, and then comes the subject. The difference between active voice and passive voice is active voice starts with a subject, and passive voice is starting with an object. Or you can say passive voice is more like saying something indirectly. I hope it was helpful. I would appreciate your feedback. Please share your feedback and let me know how did you like this video. See you again and bye bye.